A noble cause.
Noble? We're thieves, Dad. And what we're stealing is, let's face it, garbage.
It isn't stealing if no one wants it.
If no one wants it, why are we stealing it?
We are not.
Let's just say we have different points of view.
Hey, that was a clip from the movie Ratatouille. What do you think? Did you understand it? There was an idiom in it. Did you hear it? Hello, my name is Dakota, and if you've ever walked out of an English class thinking, hey, I'm beginning to really understand English only to be totally frustrated when you sat down and watched an American movie. You may have understood most of the words being spoken, but you couldn't understand the meaning. Having a clear understanding of English is so important, whether it's being used in school, social situations, or in your professional life. English has become the common world language, and regardless of why you're trying to learn it, it is essential that you understand the true meaning of what is being said. To do so, you must understand idioms and phrasal verbs. This is why I'm making these videos. I want to help you learn about idioms and phrasal verbs, but more importantly, I want to do it in a fun and enjoyable way. Learning a new language can be so boring. I'm hoping that by using movies and TV shows, you'll be able to enjoy the learning process more. There will be 7 idioms or phrasal verbs examined in each of these videos, and there will be an initial series of videos analyzing about 100 idioms and phrasal verbs. The number of these phrases will quickly ramp up to more than 1,000 idioms and phrasal verbs as more videos are uploaded. These videos would be great for teachers as well. So sit back and relax, and let's learn about idioms and phrasal verbs.
Okay, let's take a look at our first phrase. Our first phrase is the idiom, give me a hand. The meaning of this idiom is, to help, to aid, or to assist. An example would be, hey mom, standing in this water is not easy. Can you give me a hand? Alright, now let's take a look at some movie clips that provide examples of this idiom.
Joan! Give me a hand over here.
Who am I, Smith or Joan?
In this clip, Butch and Sundance are in South America working as guards. Their boss comes out of the bank and says to Jones, give me a hand. The boss is asking Jones to help him put the bags on the horse.
Live.
What the hell is that?
I think that's the weak element, sir.
Give me a hand.
See, you?
In this clip, a large portion of an ant colony is stuck underground with flood water threatening them. Z has a plan to get above ground. When he succeeds, he asks the soldiers to give me a hand. Z is asking the soldier ants to help him get out of the hole and save all of the ants below ground.
There's no way that could get way down in there like that.
Unless somebody shoved it in there.
She'll be easier to print when we turn her over. Lamar, will you give me a hand with this?
Yes, sir, I will.
In this clip, Clarice, a detective, is talking with a doctor about how a large larvae got into the mouth of a dead woman. The doctor thinks it was put in the woman's mouth. He then says to his assistant, give me a hand, so he can turn the woman over. He is asking the assistant to help him do this. Great! Now let's look at our second phrase. This is the phrasal verb, counting on you. The meaning of this phrasal verb is, to depend on someone to do what you want or expect them to do. An example of this phrasal verb is, hey guys, I sure hope the rope attached to that basket is strong enough to carry me. I'm counting on you. Great, now let's look at some movie clips that provide examples of this phrasal verb.
That team will put him out of commission like that. Jesus Christ, I can't even snap my fingers anymore. Oh, sorry.
Oh, he's not there, Max. Now look, don't get crazy on me. I'm counting on you.
In this clip, Max thinks that he's talking with an angel that Joe had previously introduced him to. However, Max doesn't know that the angel has already gone away. Joe comes in and sees him talking with nobody. Joe tells him to not become a crazy man because he's counting on him. Joe is saying that he's relying on Max to help him achieve his goal of being a quarterback playing football.
And we hope you'll sign a contract to appear 5 times a year. Perhaps, convince some of your friends in the movies to do the same. We're counting on you.
In this clip, Michael, a mafia boss, is talking with Johnny, a famous singer. Michael asks Johnny to sing at his hotel frequently to help bring in customers. He says that, "We're counting on you." Michael means that he's relying on Johnny to sign a contract to sing at the hotel so as to help improve the business.
Yeah, I'd like you to make sure that he's there when I get there. And look, this is second chance for him. They don't get... That's correct. All right, so I'm counting on you to help me help your son. Thank you very much. Put him back on the line, please.
In this clip, Wardell is waiting to talk with Max, a bail bondsman. Max is talking with the mother of a criminal that Max is working with. He tells her that he's counting on her to help him help her son. He's saying that he's relying on her help so that he can help her son. Fantastic. Let's continue on with our third phrase. This is the phrase, toying with. The meaning of this phrasal verb is, to consider. To think about briefly and not very seriously. Or to deceive or manipulate someone. An example of this phrasal verb is, Mary is just toying with Tom. She actually already has a boyfriend. Now let's take a look at some movie clips that provide examples of this phrasal verb.
He is Gusto's son.
This can't just happen! The whole thing is a setup! The boy knows! Look at him out there, pretending to be an idiot. He's toying with my mind like a cat with a ball of... something.
String?
In this clip, Chef Skinner is talking to his lawyer about a boy named Linguini. He doesn't trust the boy. Skinner thinks the boy is toying with him. Skinner thinks the boy is trying to deceive him, possibly because he wants to steal the restaurant from him.
I don't think he wants me to, Mr. Luthor.
All right, Luther, where's the gas pellet?
Somewhere. In the back of my mind, actually. This is a little idea I was toying with.
Is that how a warped brain like yours gets its kicks?
In this clip, Superman is talking with Lex Luthor. Luthor has devised a plan using gas pellets that could kill many innocent people. Luthor says that it's an idea that he's toying with. Luthor is saying that the pellets are a part of an idea that he's considering.
You're awkward, you're clumsy. They can see how desperate you are. You know this, you said it yourself.
Look, don't go by that girl tonight. She was nothing. I was toying with her.
Oh, face it, Alan. You may be very sweet, but you're not sexy.
In this clip, Alan is talking with his dead wife about a woman he dated. Alan is imagining the conversation. Alan tells her that he was just toying with the woman that he dated. Alan means that he wasn't really serious about the woman and was just playing around in the relationship. So we've now finished 3 phrases. What do you think? Are you enjoying these videos? We have more of these free videos online and we're working hard to add more each week. It takes a lot of time to create this content and we could really use your help. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing to our channel, you will be able to receive notifications whenever we upload a new video to YouTube. We really need your help. Great work! As I said, we're now going to discuss our 4th phrase. Our next phrase is the idiom, for a living. The meaning of this idiom is, to have as one's job. A way a person can support themselves financially. An example of this idiom is, some people go on the internet to enjoy themselves, but I work on the internet for a living. Excellent, now let's look at some clips from movies that provide examples of this idiom.
Glad you find it humorous.
Let's go.
$2? That's all you're gonna leave?
That's 15%.
That's 13%. These people depend on tips for a living.
In this clip, Jack, a private detective, is on a train with the Duke, a rather nice criminal. When Jack doesn't leave a 15% tip, the Duke reminds him that the service people depend on tips for a living. The Duke is explaining to Jack that the service people need this 15% tip to be able to support themselves financially.
What you kids doing? How many times I have to tell you? This past your bedtime. Go on, go on.
Hey, what are you kids up for? Well, that looks pretty good. You guys should do this for a living.
In this clip, a group of young fish decide to paint the outside of an old snail shell. After originally being angry, the snail suddenly realizes that the shell is beautiful and says to the young fish, "You guys should do this for a living." The old crab is saying that the young fish are talented at painting and that maybe they should do this as a job.
We're aware
Exactly what you said it, sitting around.
Dan,
It's a dangerous story for this paper.
what if your boys get it wrong?
Then it's our ass, isn't it?
Well, we all have to go out and work for a living.
In this clip, a group of managers of a newspaper are talking about a big story that they're working on. They're saying that if they make a mistake on this article, they could all lose their jobs and have to work for a living. These are people that love their jobs, so it does not feel like real work. However, if they lose their jobs, they may have to look for jobs that they don't enjoy to support themselves financially.
These are villains, Amanda. What makes you think you can control them?
Because getting people to act against their own self-interest for the national security of the United States is what I do for a living.
In this clip, Amanda Waller, an intelligence officer, is talking with two government officials. She is explaining that managing difficult people is what she does for a living. Amanda is saying that managing difficult people is the main purpose of her job and the reason that the government pays her money to support herself financially. That's terrific. We're now going to look at our fifth phrase. This is the idiom, none of your business. The meaning of this idiom is, we use this to tell someone that this is private information and should not be asked about. An example of this idiom is, I'm not going to answer your question because it is personal and it's none of your business. Outstanding. Now let's look at some movie clips that provide examples of this idiom.
Leave him alone! Well, now I'm confused, baby, because I thought you wanted to be left alone, and yet I found you swimming around with that piece of chump.
It's none of your business what I do, Troy. You don't own me.
In this clip, Cordelia is talking with Troy, a bully. Troy wants to know why she is swimming with Pi, her friend. Cordelia says to Troy, it's none of your business. Cordelia is saying that this is personal and private information that he should not be asking about.
It's not your money, it's my money.
What money?
You can keep it, though, because you gotta pay off your debts. But you and Potts, you're gonna have to work a couple of weekends in the store, huh?
What debts?
It's none of your business, Joni.
Why not? I'm one of the family.
In this clip, Howard Cunningham is talking to his son, Richie. Howard has just helped his son win back some money from people who had cheated him. Joni, the daughter, wants to know what is happening, but Howard says, it's none of your business. He is telling her that this issue is private and doesn't involve her.
I'll be in the other room if you need me, sir. Excuse me.
What's the matter with her?
Well, listen, I don't know, it's really none of my business.
Your wife's none of your business?
You don't understand.
In this clip, Joe is talking with Betty about his wife, who is acting crazy. Betty asks Joe what is happening. Since Joe really doesn't know his wife, he says, it's really none of my business. Although Betty won't understand, Joe is saying that he really doesn't know his wife, and it's personal and private information that he doesn't want to get involved with. You're doing great. Let's look at our sixth phrase. This is the idiom, make sense. The meaning of this idiom is to have a clear meaning and be easy to understand. It is sensible. An example of this idiom is, thank you for explaining that to me. Now it makes sense. Great. Now let's look at some movie clips that provide examples of this idiom.
Isn't it? Snake, buddy, who made the plan to begin with? You did. So I'm the one who sticks to the plan the most, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense, yeah.
In this clip, Snake is talking to Wolf as they're preparing to go to sleep. Snake is concerned about Wolf not following the plan that they've agreed upon. Wolf tells him that it is his plan and that he always follows the plan. Snake thinks about this and says, that makes sense. Snake is saying that Wolf is speaking logically. When Wolf talks with Snake, everything that Wolf says seems reasonable and, as a result, Snake feels less worried.
Anything with a strong color could work as a stain. Printer ink, food coloring, coffee.
No, thanks.
I'll find a node closer to the surface once you can biopsy.
That makes sense.
That makes sense?
I said it first.
In this clip, Dr. House is suggesting ways to examine Kate, who he suspects of having cancer. He suggests using another form of stain to identify the node on Kate's body. Wilson listens to Dr. House and says, that makes sense. He is saying that House's suggestion is reasonable.
It's gotta be Harris, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, she's gotta be the Black Badger. It's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, she's had access to the encryption code, and she's so hot and bothered about putting this whole thing on you. It's gotta be her.
In this clip, Calvin is explaining to Bob why he thinks Harris is the evil Black Badger. After Calvin explains his reasons, he says that it's the only thing that makes sense. Calvin is saying that his theory that Harris is the Black Badger is both reasonable and logical. Okay, we've come to our last phrase. This is the idiom, point of view. The meaning of this idiom is to have an opinion. A way of thinking about something. An example of this idiom is, okay, I really do understand what you're saying, but I happen to have a different point of view. Excellent. Now let's watch some movie clips that provide examples of this idiom.
We're thieves, Dad. And what we're stealing is, let's face it, garbage.
It isn't stealing if no one wants it.
If no one wants it, why are we stealing it? Let's just say we have different points of view. This much I knew.
In this clip, Remy is talking to his father about who they are. Remy says that they are thieves that steal garbage. His father says that they are not thieves, because people don't want this food and they're throwing it away. Remy concludes that he and his dad have different points of view. Remy is saying that he and his father look at their situation differently. They have different opinions.
I mean, it's not like the money belongs to anybody.
That would be one point of view.
Yeah. Except it's not a point of view shared by the ATF. Once we make this evidence, it belongs to us.
In this clip, Ray is a narcotics agent who is talking with Jackie Brown. Jackie is asking Ray if he is ever tempted to steal some of the money that he is using to catch criminals. Ray explains that one point of view would be that it would be easy to steal the money and nobody would get hurt. However, he also explains that the government has another point of view, that this money belongs to the government. When they refer to point of view, they're talking about ways of looking at the situation, different opinions.
Just do your job, but never forget what he is.
And what is that?
Oh, he's a monster. Pure psychopath. So rare to capture one alive. From a research point of view, Lecter is our most prized asset.
In this clip, Dr. Chilton is describing the psychopath, Hannibal Lecter, to Agent Starling. Dr. Chilton says that from a research point of view, Lecter is their most prized asset. Dr. Chilton is saying that if you consider Lecter from a medical perspective, Lecter is very important because it's rare to capture such a man. They hope to learn how he thinks so that they can understand psychopaths more. Congratulations, you've completed the video. I hope that you will now understand these phrases when you hear them in the future. Now, for anyone that would like to test themselves to check their comprehension, I've included a series of multiple-choice questions for you to answer. Please note that the video plays a little fast, but you can stop the video at any time to consider your answers. Good luck!